Hey, how you doing? This is John, and welcome to John's Long Box. So I didn't stream today. Thursdays I usually have friends coming over for game night, and they didn't come over. One of them has a job interview tomorrow, so the couple didn't want to come over. So I cleaned up and sorted, and I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna do a late night stream. So what I what I normally do is once a month, whenever I get my comics in the mail, I get new comics from Discount Comic Book Service. I make a video. I usually record it, but why not do it live now? And I call it my monthly visitor, and I talk about the new comics that I got. I also have a stack of comics that I've already the old comics that I read, and I call that what you're reading. So I'm going to do both. My monthly visitor, what you're reading, and why not? And it's also open invite. If anybody wants to pop in and talk comics with me, there you go. Just click on that. Make sure your YouTube window is shut, otherwise there'll be a infinite time displacement loop. Hey Marcus, how you doing? If you want to come in. So that's it. I'm just gonna be talking about comics. It's my right now I'm gonna show off what I just got. As usual, I just opened up the box, and I don't look at it. I kind of want to be surprised to have like a natural reaction. But first, I think I will show my Indiegogo campaign. It's going super slow, but this is Heroic Tales. And guys, the PDF is all ready. I'm not going to send the PDF out until I print the comics, which should be any day now. You know, we're doing the pre-press stuff. You know, this is the stage. I've learned that this is the stage that I hate, the pre-press. Oh my God, it's excruciating. You know, I like all the tangible stuff. I like drawing. I like writing the script. I like getting the art. I like seeing it colored. I even like seeing it lettered. Once it turns lettered, oh my God, it turns into a comic book. But then, like, you know, the PDFs and everything like that, it's still excruciating. It's so excruciating. I think I'll like fulfillment because that's physical, that's tangible, that's something in my hand that I can manipulate. But computer files, Ernest, still plenty of time. Yes. I'm hoping if I could get one package in the mail by October 31st, I feel I met my obligation. You know, so let's play this trailer. I I love that so much. As always, is the cover by Renzo Rodriguez, the same interior artist. No bait and switch. I was just talking about this on Twitter today. That, you know, it's just a shame when they get a really good artist to do the cover, and then unfortunately they can't afford his rate, so they get some. You know, I don't want to be mean, but they'll get somebody else. But it's all Renzo. This is all Renzo. And look at this. This cover is Mike Gustovich. You know, this is a variant cover. I love this cover. Right now, this is only available on Indiegogo. And, you know, here's the interior art for those of you who stumbled upon this. It's just so gorgeous. I've shown a few people the PDF files, and they all say the same thing. It's just gorgeous. It's such a good looking comic. Hey, we got Zach Tan over here. How's it going? Hope you're having a blessed day. I'm having a pretty good day. You know, hey, Ernest, how you doing? Okay, so let's do this. So this is my stack of new comics. I just opened up the box, took the packing sheet out, so nobody needs to see my address and stuff like that. So you know, you ordered this 3 months in advance. So if anything's embarrassing in here, well, you know what? I mean, that's the life of a YouTuber. So let's look at what we got. Nightclub by some guy named Mark Miller. What do you, go figure. Go figure. A deal with the devil. Nightclub 2. All right. All right. So that obviously I didn't read these yet. This is brand new to me. What else did I get? Oh, Saga. Saga. You see, I get them bagged and boarded too. So there you go. Saga. I tell you, I was a little tired of this comic for a while. Then they went on like a 6-7 month hiatus, and they just recharged their batteries. It was just meandering, and then they did like a 5 years later. So everybody's a little older. The kids are a little older. Oh, Fire and Ice, number 3. I think I have 1 and 2. I think so. So I can read this. Look at that cover, listener. Okay. What do we got? Oh, The Witcher. Hated the TV show. But I really like these comics. I can see why people like The Witcher. The comics are awesome. It's just good fantasy. Okay. Oh, the new Geiger. The new Geiger is here. I'm a couple of months behind. I got to step it up. What is this? Oh, okay. This is a Marvel previews thing. I didn't order this. That's pretty cool. All right. So this is a Marvel advertisement. Oh, cool. I'll check that out. Cool. What do we got? I never thought about it, but what do creatures who do their own fulfillment do for the return address? My wife is concerned about that. She's thinking I get a P.O. box or something, but yeah. Magic Order, more Mark Miller. It's so hard for me to say Mark Miller when it's spelled with an A. I really, really like this comic, and I'm struggling with the show. The show he was sent to Earth to exterminate all life on Earth. I mean, I get what they're going to do. They're going to make it he's a horrible, and he's going to find true love and become a nice guy. But he was a good guy from day one in the comic. It just changes a little bit. Rook, a comic that made me change my character. It doesn't bother me because I kind of like the changes that I made. I fully admit that my character in issue number 3, I'm going to debut a character who was originally called the Raven, and his costume was exactly like Batman's, except for a bat symbol. It was a bird symbol on his chest. Instead of the bat cape, it was a bird cape, and he just didn't have the ear, and maybe it extended a little bit. So it was a total Batman ripoff. But I made him up when I was like 10. And he was an NPC in my superhero game since 46 years. Geez. And I grew to love the character. And then I just, without thinking, I was going to import him directly into Heroic Tales without any changes because, and I just got a feeling in my craw that it was too derivative of Batman. I mean, it was literally a Batman ripoff. So then I changed his name to the Rook because everybody's like, he can't have the Raven, he can't have it. And then this comic comes up. So I changed him again. And I think for the better. He's his own character now. I got a guy making a logo right now, and Daniel is coloring. I already spoiled it. I showed the 2-page spread, and then his name will be revealed on that. Oh, Hate. Okay. What issue is this? Oh, number 3. I think I'm missing number 2. Peter Badge or Bag. I don't know how to say it. Badge or Bag. I never bought this, and then back in the 90s, I was working as a dishwasher at a restaurant, and I made friends with the other kid, and we both fancied ourselves traveling poets. We both read Kerouac. We were both into beat poetry and stuff like that. But this kid walked the walk. I mean, I went back to my house. He lived in a Volkswagen van. He had a bed. He had a typewriter set up. He had a bed set up, and he just lived in the parking lot behind the restaurant. He was a full, and then when he got sick of it, he just packed up and moved. But he just gave me a box of comics, and he was like, "You're gonna like these," So, I always think of him, and I just feel bad. I can't remember his name. Oh, Arkham Horror Comics. Based on I ask me today or tomorrow. It's my favorite board game or second favorite board game, but Arkham Horror Second Edition. Matter of fact, my friend Jimmy is coming over tomorrow. We might play. And what is this? Oh, the Calvella, the graphic novel. I just bought this because I've been to mythology. This is the Finnish mythology. At least I hope it's true to it. I don't know if, I just saw the name, graphic novel, mythology. I'm in. I've been burnt a few times, but this looks pretty cool. Oh, okay. We got 2 magazines in here. Okay, let's see. I already kind of know what they are. Let's take a look. I pay for bags and boards for these, and they never send me boards. They owe me like a nickel. Okay, so 2 Shutters. Okay, Shutter Magazine number 19 and Shutter Magazine Annual, the Spooktacular. Okay, so I guess this is reprints of other stories. I don't know. Okay, so this is my new comics. Okay, once a month. You could get weekly shipments with Discount Comic Book Service, but I get it once a month. I mean, I got enough comics to read. I'm not gonna go waiting for for comics. So and then you only pay postage and handling once. You know what I mean? You're not gonna pay for shipping because there's no discount if you get them shipped weekly. Some people can't wait. I can wait. I can wait. So okay, so that was my monthly visitor. So that was all my new comics. Before I go to the other comics, let's go look at the chat. Okay. Some creators use their own address. Yeah, I mean, let's just say I believe in the Second Amendment. So whatever you want. In fact, not too long ago, all dresses were a big yellow book. Yep. We need John's dress so we can show up on game nights. Yeah, well, gotta play games on Mondays and Thursdays. 6:30 Eastern Standard Time. Come on down. I gotta get people to play. Just message me. Showing up at the door. The bed. If you show up at the door and you're the 5th person, and I already set up a 4-player game, then I have to sit and watch you guys play because I got to be a good host. True enough, but unfortunately, these days anyone, yeah. Well, you can cancel me by not knowing my address. It's a weird. I noticed there's like a lack. I'm looking at my lips. Is it always like that? Revulsion is not the same as hate. Like Valhalla, but for Kale, yes, it's where the vegetable gods live. I lived in Valhalla, New York. Cool name for a town. Yes. Okay, so I'm gonna put this back. I'm gonna swap that around. I'm so happy I learned how to do that. I'm getting really good with StreamYard, and then StreamYard raises their rates, and everybody's going to Streamlabs. Let's see how Streamlabs is. So these are the comics that I read recently, meaning since the last time I made a What You're Reading. And before I start, I'll throw out the invite again. If anybody wants to pop in and talk comics, there's the invite. Just remember to turn off, close down your YouTube window. Oh man, these glasses are just digging into my nose. What's going on? Okay, so this is Doug Monick Jones. This is where is it? Okay, so this was the Final Night tie-in. I don't know why I didn't get these, but I just missed these Batmans. So I've been, I bought a bunch of back issues to catch up. So this is Batman tied in with Final Night, and the Man Bat is on the loose. Batman's chasing down the Man Bat, and then the Man Bat goes to Antarctica, where it's 60 days of darkness. Batman. I forget now. Because that was Batman. Did Detective have a Final Night? Because that's like one of the times where they tell you exactly the date, So how could Batman be in 3 places at once? Final Night, he's over here in Gotham City, and then north in Antarctica. And then in this comic, in Final Night, he's over, in Gotham doing this. And in, the Batman Detective, the Shadow of the Batman, he's in England. That would drive me crazy. So I wonder what they did. I got to look back. It's a cycle. A program gets good, people flock to it. It gets more expensive and less worth it. New program moves out to compete. Yep. So maybe I'll try Streamlabs. I already paid for October, so let's see. Okay, so this is your boy Zach's Comics First Kill. Dale Keown cover. Some nice art in here. That's about all I'll say about it. I think I'm done with your boy Zach. Today's video actually got on my nerves really bad for the first time. I know I've been saying I'm very loyal to Zach. today's video just got on my nerves where he's like, grown man making fun of a woman. It's like, dude, hate to agree with JDA, but dude, that's your trademark. If making fun of Heather Antos is what put you on the map, and now you get mad some other guys yelling at Rachel Ziegler. Come on, look in the mirror, dude. And then this is a freaking mess. This freaking mess. It's a multiverse, multiple characters. Dude, you killed your characters in your first issue, and it's almost 10 years later, and you're struggling to bring them back in the sloppiest. Makes no sense. I just hate to say it because it's just I think I'm done with Splato comics. The best Splato comic is a Rock and Roll Ninja is excellent. I'll get Rock and Roll Ninja. Like I have to say, Iron Sights. I'm real big on storytelling. Guys, call me out if you get my comic and you cannot follow the story, and if you can't name the characters, if you don't know who, please tell me. I want to fix it, because this. I couldn't tell who the characters were. I didn't know. As soon as I was done, I was like, "Who's the bad guy? What happened? What was the plot?" It was a mess. So I'm sorry, Splato, sorry Zach. I think I might be done. I think I'm tapping out finally. I've been your biggest supporter, biggest booster. I'm not angry with you. I'm not going to talk crap about it. I'm just move on. We could disagree and not talk about it every night, 6 hours a day for the next 14 years. I don't tired of it. I don't like your comics. Hey, I wish you luck. This is just an alternate cover for the Dead at 50. I support Josh Howard. Josh Howard is a great guy. Yep. What does Marcus say? Oh, you agree with me about I sometimes I say things too much, and then somebody's going to clip this and use it against me. Hey, Jim O'Reilly, we were just looking at your artwork yesterday. Me, Nick, Axe, and RJ. On Comic Book Team Up, we were going through Crom the Destroyer. Man, I really like your art. Really like your art. So when are you going to come on my channel? Wish he did more with it. Oh, okay. I forgot he had a book called No. I forgot. But doesn't Josh just draw the cutest girls? Josh is doing a cover, the variant cover. Oh, this is the bag for the Batman comic. Josh is drawing a variant cover for Mary Sue, and this is all like little cards and posters and stuff that goes with that comic. So what is this? I like Nano 13, but had some trouble telling some of the characters. But yeah, that's my buddy Ron Mosicki. Ron does a 9-page backup story of my comic. Again, I read it. I was real. One of my friends read the comic and he was like, dude, I can't give this comic to the kids. Sometimes it's too close to you. So yes, be prepared. The bad guy's a bad guy. But what was I going to say? Let me know if you know who the characters are. Let me know if the story flows. Let me know about the storytelling. That is like my biggest, because I know the art's good. I know the characters are good, but storytelling is what makes or breaks a comic. I mean, again, I hate to be the bad guy over here, but it's what killed Godlike for me. I liked the art. I thought the concept was excellent, but it was the execution, the storytelling that just ruined the comic. Same with that Jawbreakers. It just because I like the art, and I didn't like the story. The story was a mess. So this is Resurrection Man. This is DC 1 million. Jim O'Reilly says, thanks, brother. Yeah, absolutely. Josh looks perfect for Mary Sue. I know. As soon as I came up with the idea of Mary Sue, I was like, I want to get Josh to do a cover, like immediately, because she's a petite, cute girl, and that's like Josh's specialty. It's funny because as soon as I before I even wrote a line of dialogue, before I wrote anything, when the character was, because Mary Sue has never been in my role-playing games. She's the only character that so far has never been in the role-playing games. I just made her up for the comic, just as a, everybody was calling everybody a Mary Sue, so she's, whatever, but babble. So anyway, going through my collection because my database broke down. So I've been filling in gaps of stuff that I forgot. This is Abbott and Lanning's Mitch Shelley, the Resurrection Man. This is issue 100. DC. Remember, comics would come out on a Wednesday, and once in a while, there would be a 5th Wednesday of the month. So they would schedule 4 releases, one for every Wednesday, and then sometimes there's a 5th week. And then they do crazy stunts because they don't want you to not go to the comic book store on Wednesday. Like, this Wednesday, there's going to be no releases. Rather than take the other 4 and just spread them out, they would make a lot of strange 5th week events. This one was one of them that was actually pretty good. There was JL Ape was one of them. There was a few, I'm trying to remember. There was a Imagine If, like it was all different versions, like pulp versions of or whatever of one of them was like Stan Lee reimagined. But this one's my favorite. This is this is supposed to be the 1,000,000th issue of this comic, as like legacy issue. So it's like 89,000 years in the future. Oh, this was so now we're just going to see some of the covers. These, oh yeah, Resurrection Man had some great art by Jackson. How do you say his name? Juice? Geis? How do you say his name? Is it pronounced Juice? Because I've been saying Geis my whole life because I'm like, there's no way the guy's name could be Juice. But, Butch Juice? Butch Geis? How do you say his name? Hey, thank you. You put up my link. Hey, on Indiegogo. And it's also on Fund My Comic. It's also on Fund My Comic. Fund My Comic is going to be my home for no one. Geis? Like Gyce, Geis. That's how I pronounce it. So these are what I did covers. So I didn't reread these. I just took these out to show great covers. So I guess I'm showing great covers again. But look at this. One of my favorite comics of all time. And what do we have in common here? This is Bob Layton, but John Byrne inside. This is John Byrne, Joe Rubinstein on the covers. This is Keith Pollard. Oh my God. Keith Pollard is it's just a unsung hero in comics. Just, he's still alive. Look at this. This is Walt Simonson. I love it. This is my first Thor comic. Michael Golden. Oh no, this is Dave Cockrum and Al Milgrom, but Michael Golden's on the inside. Oh, I'm pronouncing Geis right. Okay. I think this is more Keith Pollard. I think this is Keith Pollard. But look at that cover. Okay, this is Tantalizing Comics, Jungle something. This was the card. I kind of lost this in a pile of comics. Returned to Monster Island. I just read this. A Graham Nolan comic comes, you just read it right away. He's just the gentleman of indie comics. You know what I mean? He's the gold standard. I say that every time his name comes up. Just on time, produces frequently. Just no gossip. Just he's just, like I said, he's the indie gentleman. And then we got Batman, the Ogre. This was okay. This is kind of goofy. Feels weird. Okay. I put 2 backing boards in there by accident. Graveyard Shift. That's all I'm going to say about Graveyard Shift. Graveyard Shift Volume 2. That's all I'm going to say about Graveyard Shift Volume 2. And more Batman. So these last 3 are Doug Moench. So this is really weird. This is a Doug Moench, but Aparo and Sienkiewicz. What a team. Like, to me, like, Aparo is like just classic, old school, comic art. And then Sienkiewicz is like way out there. It's just a team I never. And this cover is by geez, why can't I think of his name? Jones. And then we got Jim Aparo and Bill Sienkiewicz, just a team. Yeah, Kelly Jones. I couldn't think of his name. Glow in the dark covers. So there you go. That's what you're reading, and that's my monthly visitor. So, yeah, like I normally do, unless people pop in or unless the chat dies down, I'll end it here. So, okay, who is the fire villain? He was fighting a fly villain, and his name, creatively enough, was The Fly. I love that cover. I'm just digging it up to show you that it was a Fly villain. Not, how did it disappear? Oh, yeah, it was a Fly. It's just that they put like dramatic light around it. You know what I mean? To whatever on the cover, but but in the comic, he could vibrate his wings and make like a buzzing vibratory attack. So that's what they're doing. So another villain who got his powers through J. Jonah Jameson. Think about it. J. Jonah Jameson created the Spider Slayers, he created the Scorpion, and he created the Fly. So why is J. Jonah Jameson not considered one of Spider-Man's enemies? He's Lex Luthor. Depending upon the version of Lex Luthor created Bizarro. You know what I mean? Graham Nolan talked about good storytelling. Yeah, he's a masterclass in good storytelling. Absolutely. You could follow. You could follow. And when I talk about storytelling, these glasses drive me crazy. It feels like there's like a sharp piece of plastic, but there's not. Is there something on my nose? Maybe there's something on my nose. But when I talk about storytelling, I'm saying the ability to follow the story from panel to panel. Like, does it flow? And the example I always give, and I feel bad for saying it, is Howard Chaykin is the worst. If you were to take the words out of an American Flag comic, you have no idea. I don't want to say that the images are thrown in at random, because that's not true, but the images are almost disconnected. Like, there has to be almost like an animated strip of film, but like you take it away every 24th frame. So you know what I mean? It has to make logical sense. And Graham Nolan does it so well, but it's a hard guys, I'm totally 100% serious. That's my biggest concern. Like, if you like my comic, fine. Oh my God, that's going to be awesome. Like, and if you like it enough to tell people that you like it, that is great. But my goal right now, again, I want you to like my comic. I'm not being, but if you tell me, oh man, it flowed, the storytelling was good, that is my biggest concern. So there you go. You won't hurt my feeling. You will, but that doesn't matter. The first Graveyard Shift cover looked cool, but the second seemed derivative. Yeah, it's just the symbol. It's just the symbol. I get it. You could get variant covers. You could get different covers. I just get the A cover to everything, because otherwise you spend so much money. Kelly Jones. Did I say something differently? It's a cool cover. The Power of Bad Press. Jameson should be in jail. Yes, Jameson should be in jail. He's a villain. Howard was doing something else. He's going for a page design before storytelling. Yeah. I was talking with Fabrizio Aiello, and he was talking about how some artists become graphic designers over comic book artists. He says Mike Mignola is so streamlined that he might as well just be a graphic designer. And I'll take his word for it, because I'm not an artist. That's why I had Nick X on when we were talking about covers. I wanted an artist's opinion on a lot of cool things. Like, I know what I like, but I can't explain it artistically. I'm just like, that's a cool color. I like that. That color looks good. That pops. And I hate that I even said pops, because I hate when people are like, oh, this cover is great. It pops. What does that mean? That's a word that doesn't mean anything. It's a word people use to make it sound like they know what they're talking about. I hate when people say that. That's like icon. Everything can't be iconic. I think one of the best versions of Jameson was in the first Spider-Man live-action trilogy. He's still adversarial, but he did print the retraction. Yes. I like when Jameson still has impeccable journalistic ethics. I like that. I like when he's adversarial. I like when he's like mean, harsh taskmaster. I like when he's bossy, but I like when push comes to shove, he stands up and becomes a good journalist. But he crosses the line when he finances terrorism. I mean, what else do you call a supervillain? Yeah, I agree with you. So there we go. This is a half hour. I'll shut it down now, unless anybody wants to pop in. I'll give a minute. Bueller. I'll give a minute, and if anybody wants to say anything in the chat, otherwise I'll end. Good stream. You know what? I will end on my Fund My Comic. I haven't showed that in a while. So I'll show this. I'll make it big. And I will even, oh, I don't have the trailer in this. I had the trailer on a Kickstarter. But this is Fund My Comic. This is still available. This is going to be my home. This is in demand. You can still get the Pat Broderick cover. Yeah, here's the back cover. And now you can get the Michael T. Gilbert cover on this. And if you already backed and you're like, damn, I want the Michael T. Gilbert, message me. You know what I mean? Because I don't want you to pay $20 shipping. You know what I mean? For something else. You know, when you you know what I mean? If you already got one, if you got the two covers, if you got the regular cover and the Broderick cover, and now you want the Gilbert cover, and you don't want to pay another $10 shipping, just say something. You know what I mean? We'll figure it out. We'll work something out. So here we go. It's a Fund My Comic, and sorry I can't tonight. Tomorrow. Oh, it's good thing you brought that up. So tomorrow on it's clobbering time. I can move this now. I have friends coming over for dinner, so I don't know exactly what time I will be doing It's Clobbering Time. Most likely it'll be closer to 10 o'clock. So if Marcus, if you can't show, I totally understand. But it's Friday night. I haven't seen my friend Jimmy in a long time. He's itching to come over, and we're actually going to play some role-playing games. We're going to play some villains and vigilantes. His character's in the middle of a story, and Jimmy is chomping at the bit. His character is Dick Dante. He's a magician. He's a Doctor Strange character. You know, he's been playing this character, for 10 years. And, for 5 years, he was a magician who couldn't even cast a spell. He was training to become a magician. I like to do things. You start off super weak, and then he actually got captured by a space alien who took out his brain, put his brain into a robot shell, and toured the galaxy for 500 years. So his brain was put, and while it became like a sci-fi adventure because he couldn't cast spells, he didn't have hands, stuff like that. But his brain capsule would snap in, and he had this colossal robot battle. He fought spaceships. He fought in a space battle. That was a lot of fun. And then he met this space. They built like a mech, giant kaiju mech armor for him, and he was just fighting. That was a lot of fun. And when that exploded, I don't want to tell more because I'm actually going to incorporate this in the heroic tale. But he, they found himself in a fabricated young body, and then they sent him back in time and missed the role. So rather than sending him back in 19, the story was set in 1997. That's where we started. They overshot it back to 1947. So he's been in the past, and now it's 1974. His body is aging up, and it's 1974. So he's like collecting old comics, and he was like, so he's living life in the past, trying not to interact with his family. So he lives out in Kansas when his family grew up in New York. It's fun. So he's like having like Ghost Rider type event, and I'm using all the tropes. So in the 50s, he was fighting like space communists, and then in the 60s, he was fighting like some mystical threats and some monsters stuff. In the 70s, it was all like demons and Rosemary's Babies and The Omen, and then he got involved in biker gangs, which is where he is now. It's kind of fun. So I'm trying to keep all the tropes. He was best friends with Count Dante. It was a lot of fun. Yes, like the time traveler from Micronauts. Yes. Does he look like Count Dante? No, but he was friends with Count Dante, and he went on a secret moon adventure. He was one of the 7 astronauts in the Artemis project, the secret race to the moon before the Apollo mission to clean up and hide all the evidence of the alien civilizations before the United States government got up there. Yes, the only thing worse than dirty commies is space commies. Yes, there was the space commies. They took over the Soviet Union. So Stalin and all those guys, they were all puppets of these alien hive race. They were like these mollusk-like hive life creatures inspired by mind flayers from D&D. and they live underground. They can't deal with the light. They live in mud, and then they mind control and basically make communism. So I was just like, everybody's doing Hitler. So I wanted to do Stalin. So Stalin was being manipulated. So that they formed a team, the Secret Seven, to fight an enclave of space aliens, which is probably, if I make it, like after issue 10. I got issue 10 planned out. But if I can make it to past 10, I'll talk about the Secret Seven, the secret occult space commie wars in the 50s. But thanks a lot. I don't see anybody popping in, and it looks like the comments are shutting down. So there you go. There's today's video, what you're reading, and my monthly video visitor. Thanks a lot, everybody. And please consider back of that Mike Gustovich cover on Indiegogo. All right. Bye-bye.